Hello, hello, hello. How's everybody? Hey, everybody. How's everybody doing? Hey, Heather. How are you?
Oh, how are you
I
doing?
didn't mean to bother you. You were jamming out.
I
I
know.
mean,
I do. Every
you're
time you
kind of
play
getting
this song,
into
I'm like
it.
bopping. Every week,
you're,
every week.
you're,
It's a good
you were
sound.
kind of getting into that. That's
Yeah.
right. Oh,
Yep.
here we go. Happy Groundhog's Day. That's right. That's right. She's telling us what country, city, state, and you from. There you go. She already
It's like
added
a
it on there.
contest. It's like a contest. Which of us is going to put it up first? But
I love it.
Roxanne's here. Bob is bothered us, is what I was going to say, which is not what I meant. Bob, sorry about
That
that.
wasn't very
Bob
nice.
has joined us, is what I meant to say. Glad you're here from Washington, and Mike has made it from Niagara Falls. Good to see you. Ron, also in Canada. Hello.
Nice.
I
Oh,
said,
look at there. Look at cousin Russ.
dun, 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 dun.
It is 2-2. It sure is. There you go.
Wait, who was it? Steven? Was it your son who
You
did
put the
the
year.
year? Yeah.
Yeah, you put the year. I kind of like
22.
2022. Yeah. Yes. He left a decimal in the wrong place, though. It would have been
I know.
nice if you would have put that at
I was
the
just going to
very
say,
end.
if you put the decimal after the year was, that would have been a nice super chat. I'm just saying.
Yeah, it would have. Yeah, it would have.
Anyway.
All right. What are we talking about?
What are we talking about? I didn't do a banner for that. We are talking about organizing and working together to organize your YouTube videos. So it's not really much of a title, but it's a good topic, I think.
Works. I think so too. I think it's important too. I think it's something that, I mean, I don't know. Is it important? I think it helps you stay organized that way. You know what I'm saying? Like it makes you kind of like, oh yes, I need to do something. There you go.
I didn't mean to do that. That was an accident.
That's all right. That's okay. Yeah, what she said. So yeah.
Yeah, but like working together to stay organized, like that's really one of the key points to what we're talking about today.
That's right.
Is it is important to stay organized. It is important, when you're doing YouTube videos, when you're uploading any kind of videos, even if you're streaming, there's a certain process. And how do you keep track of all that stuff? How do you, and if you're working with other folks, like you and I work together because we're, co-hosting and things.
If you have a team, you got a team.
Yeah. So whether you're working by yourself or you're working with a team, it does help to stay organized and to know what you've done and to maybe stay on top of it. And that's kind of what today's episode is going to be about. So
I'm excited.
All right.
Because I get to show off a spreadsheet.
Yes, I was just going to say, so some of the ways that you and I work together is with collaboration, and we really, really, really enjoy collaborating using Google products. Yes. And so one of the main things that we use, of course, is Google Sheets, because Michael loves Google Sheets, right? But yeah, so we'll use Google Sheets. We use Google Calendar. We actually share a calendar specifically for this show and the work we do with Tinkering with Tech Community. And Mark, I love this. Mark pipes in with Post-it notes. That doesn't work with us. I mean, Michael never reads my Post-it notes. I don't understand.
That's right.
And then Ron, please, no spreadsheets. Yes, Ron, spreadsheets are very helpful. And Doug has joined us also from South Carolina. Glad you're here, Doug. So, so we share.
Oh, look at there. Oh, look at there. Eddie, how are you? Teach me something new. I love it. That's excellent. Good stuff. Excellent. Good stuff.
I like this comment here from Russ. Dear Myrtle and I use Trello. Exactly. So there's all kinds of ways to do it. It's not just a Google product all the time either. So excellent.
But me being a Google nerd, I do this, and this is just what works for me, and I like it, and I'm familiar with it. But I love the idea of the Trello. I mean, I think that's awesome and a way to stay organized. I think it's a great thing to be able to do that. One of the things that we found is like we gave each other kind of responsibilities. You on the art end and me on the, hey, it's my videos, my YouTube or whatever.
Yeah, so really you carry the most of the load here. So this is where everybody gets to see just looking at the checkboxes, for example, the pink ones are mine. So as you can see, I've been told to do one job and Michael has to do 4. So, but yeah, that's just funny. But anyway, yeah. So this way, we're able to share the different responsibilities towards video creation and the branding behind it and all of the stuff that you do behind the scenes.
Mhm.
And this is where we kind of want to talk about, once you upload a video, it's kind of just the beginning of the process because you have like a whole bunch of things that have to be done after the video has gone up. I don't know if everybody's aware of that or not. So yeah, let's
Mhm.
show your YouTube channel so we can kind of talk about a little bit.
So one thing, these are all things that we teach in our private community, but it's something also that I like to show because some people aren't aware. This is in your YouTube studio, and it has you go into this specific video, and there's a lot of things you can do to it to help you get recognition of your videos and stuff like that. And what we're doing is we're converting our daily tips that we do in our community. We're converting some of those out into the public, and but they get to see it first. They get to collaborate and they get to be a part of it, which is really kind of cool. But you get to see that. So one thing is really important is chapters. So somebody has to enter in the chapter. So we do this after the video has been done, and that's where you would enter those kind of thing. And then it says it right there, tags. I go down here to this section, make sure that it has tags talking about the topics that we're going over. And then I like to put a card and an end screen, usually about something that's similar to whatever the topic is. So in this example, we talk about YouTube Studio featured channels. Then I might throw another end screen that has a YouTube video or a card that has a YouTube video. But again, what Heather and we're looking at this, and we to collaborate, I want to make sure that I get those tags, chapters, cards, and end screen. As soon as I do, I can put a check mark on it. I don't have to do them all right away, but I can go ahead and knock it out. And then that lets her know that, hey, this is done. And then I have the link to the YouTube video that I put in there, and then the topic of whatever it was that was discussed, and then when we're actually scheduling it to go live, which is also
Yeah.
pretty cool. And I'll go back to the YouTube so you can kind of see. We have some that are scheduled, so you're going to be able to see that whenever it gets there. You'll be able to see that we have some that are actually scheduled. So it tells you when it's going to be coming out. It's kind of a great way to collaborate and get all that. So it's kind of nice.
Yeah. And if you go back to the spreadsheet for just a minute, I kind of want to talk to
100%.
the point about what you and I are doing with this spreadsheet. So this is just the way that we've decided to do it. This is not the one way by any
Right.
stretch of the imagination, but we decided that we wanted to know when is it scheduled to be live, and having a date in that column lets me know that Michael has set it up and it's ready to go. So I can see very clearly when I check mark something, and you'll see it show up on his screen there, that I've already
Mhm.
added the thumbnail to that one. He can now schedule it. So in this example that we're showing you, it already has a date, but once he's put the thumbnail, or I've put the thumbnail in it, then he goes in and works on these parts and checks them off as he does them. And you'll see that show up there on his screen, the check
Yep.
marks there. And then I know that he's already done, say, three videos, right? He's already done the back end of 3 videos, and they all need thumbnails. They can't be scheduled until those thumbnails are there.
Right.
So I
Right.
realized that I need to do some work. So it's kind of cool to have this option to work at our own pace outside of the scheduled time that we're together, and we both have busy schedules and things. So it's really a neat tool. One thing that we do in our spreadsheet, because this again is a sample and not necessarily the spreadsheet that he and
Right.
I use, but
Right.
we have tabs down at the bottom. So I'm going to go ahead and
Love
create
it.
another tab, and you'll see
Love
this
it.
as I do
I
it.
love it. It's so
Um,
cool. She's adding a tab down
so
there.
we have tabs down at the bottom that say things like show ideas, for example, and you'll see that show up. And this is what's really cool
Mhm.
about collaborating within these different products, is that
Mhm.
this sort of stuff happens relatively in real time. So as he's showing you, you'll see that it'll
Mhm.
pop up with the show ideas. And when we're on that tab, I might say,
Mhm.
it'd be really nice to do an OBS workshop. Um, and so I'll
Mhm.
put that in over here, and maybe I'll even give some ideas of what kinds of things I'd like to see, like how did you get the rounded corners
There you go.
You know, so I might type that in there, and then when we meet together on Monday or Friday when we have our meetings, I've already got my notes here, so I can ask him about this later. And he might say, you know what, I did a tip on that, or I'm going to do a tip on that this week, so that'll be one of those things that we'll cover. Or I wasn't even thinking that was something anybody wanted to know. That's a good thing. We'll add it to the list. Like, this is the kind of stuff we do.
So we come up with ideas as well. The other nice thing too, I mean, and you bring up a great point. It's not just that we use the Google Calendar a lot together. We use that quite a bit. That's really where we agenda what our conversations, what we're going to talk about, that kind of thing. And that collaboratively we have a shared calendar, which is fantastic.
Yeah, it's actually really cool because one of the things that Michael and I used to do, and this was a real pain in the neck, which is why we've kind of switched to this and why we're sharing this with you today, is we used to send each other chats, either through Duo or text messaging or Google Chat or all of them at the same time. I mean, we've done that. And so then it's like, wait, wasn't there something you wanted to work on today? And he'll say, yeah, where did you put that? Or where did I put that? Or whatever. So it's kind of a mess that we're, you know, trying to figure out where our information went, what the little conversation we had on the side. And so that was kind of a mess. So now what we do is we go into the Google Calendar and we would show it to you, but there's a whole lot of other stuff in there. So we don't want to screen share that. So we'd go into the Google Calendar event that we've set up for either, you know, whatever day we're going to meet. And then in the description, we write out our agenda. And as the week progresses and each of us are thinking about things or coming across something, we will then say,
hold on, let's put this in there.
Yeah, I'm added something to the agenda. And what's really neat about Google Calendar, you guys, if you're not aware of this, is that if you share a calendar with someone and they make changes to the events on that calendar, you get an email notification. So I can see when Michael has added to the agenda because Google sends me an email that tells me that the agenda has been updated, basically. I mean, it actually says the event has been changed, but for whenever I go and I look at that and I see he's added 3 things to the agenda, I'm like, oh, awesome. So we're going to actually create a video on Friday. So I know this going into Friday that we're going to work on a video. It's so cool.
It is.
Yeah. Collaborating on how to collaborate. Look at that. That's excellent, Andrew.
I like to change a comma to a period or something, or go in and just change one thing just so she gets annoyed. Just to irritate.
Okay. This is not the show of how to irritate your partner. Okay. That's not the show.
Yeah.
Too funny. All right. So let's hold off for just a second on our conversation and address this question from Russ. Are tags user for search, especially for Google and YouTube? Yeah, tags are the things that are attached to your video that people are searching for. So if somebody's searching for, you know, how to add tags to YouTube video, then you want to have tags in a YouTube video as one of your tags.
Yeah,
that's a lot of tags inception there. But anyway,
and over the years, I have heard that, oh, tags aren't important. Oh, tags are important. Oh, tags aren't important. So since they have it, it's already there. Why not go ahead and add them? And if they do become important, then, you know, I've heard chapters, I've heard tags, I've heard, you hear so much. Yeah. Who cares? Add whatever you can to make it more visible.
And what does it add to your editing of the video once you edit it? It adds maybe 2 minutes of time, if that much.
Maybe.
So
yeah.
So it's totally worth it. Totally worth it. All right. So we were talking about the calendar and how we use that. We're talking about the sheets and how we use the sheets. One of the things, we have so many tabs at the bottom of our spreadsheet, and one of the we do. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of them. And one of the things that we do is, and this is why we love sheets, or why I love using Google Sheets for this, because Michael loves sheets. There's there's a period at the end of that statement.
I'm the one that talked you into that, basically.
He's right.
And you said, okay, either I got to join them or either we got to find something else.
Yeah, it's true.
But
So
there is
one of
Trello. There are things out there. I mean, I just want to know. I know Phil talked about Dropbox and how they collaborate and they do their thing. I know there are things out there. Oh, thank you so much.
Wow, Jim, thank you. Everything does help, and we do add whatever is convenient. You know what? I don't know if you're talking about super chats there, but Jim is one of our community members, and he always has something to add. And many times it's helpful. So
thank you.
That's awesome.
I didn't mean to take you off track, but I just wanted to make sure that we talk about that. So
but
the spreadsheet part.
Yeah, and so the reason why I like using the spreadsheets for our collaboration is because we have these tabs at the bottom, and one of the tabs, I'm big on the copy that we use. Like, let's make sure that we're consistent with our titling. Let's make sure we're consistent with what's going into the descriptions of videos and how we share our posts when we're sharing things out to the public and stuff like that. And there's a tab at the bottom of our spreadsheet that has a place where we can copy and paste from. So if he wants to know how, Michael wants to know how to share about the workshop, for example, we've got a workshop coming up this month. What are we going to do? And we can use the same verbiage because it's copy and pasted from this one spreadsheet that we're sharing about all of the things that we work on together. So I just kind of wanted to share that with the audience, just so that way they could know that spreadsheets in my mind were always about numbers and were always about formulas. Ooh, sorry, Sheila, I hate to use the F word, but you know what I'm saying? There's just lots of things that I thought about spreadsheets that I'm now using spreadsheets a lot more and in a very different way than before. And you can still do those other things like numbers and formulas in there if you need to. So yeah, we even have a whole separate spreadsheet where we keep track of our memberships, all of their information, as well as whether they've paid or not, when they will be like renewing or not renewing, if they need to be removed from the database or added to the database, all those kinds of things. It's all in one spreadsheet, and it's very helpful to be able to look at that together and work on it together.
And again, collaborative, because you get the information from when they sign up and all that kind of stuff, and it's put right in there. Then I go back and I change the day and all that stuff and organize it that way, and when to take people out, when to put people in. It's all on that one spreadsheet.
I wish that we could show it because it looks so cool. It's got lots of colors and stuff, and we can't show it because it's got personal information about our members. But one of the cool things that Michael does do in that spreadsheet is it has, I'm visual. So I like red means stop, green means go. That's the way I operate. So he put red blocks that show that this person is no longer a member. So I can visually ignore that line and it's not a bother. And then he resorts it so everything's in order. It's very, very helpful. And I recommend, if you're going to be in business with anyone, you do it with someone who is really good at the things you're not. And Michael is incredibly good at that. The
that's nice of you to say. So, that's nice of you. Thank you. Yeah, no, it is.
Look at this from Sheila. I have an auto shut off
when I hear poem doesn't work well. Here you go.
And Chris did say that only sometimes he's helpful.
Sometimes I'm helpful. I love it.
At least sometimes.
Yeah, well, at least you got it sometimes. That's true.
That's right.
That's a good point.
That's right.
That's actually,
so this is kind of fun because I really was hoping that the audience would give us a few more about the things they do. Like Russ had shared that he and Mert use Trello. I'd like to know how Jim and Chris collaborate. They're obviously in the same room a lot of the times, so it's probably easier to collaborate. But there's got to be some things where they're working together in some kind of a digital device or program. Yeah. Yeah. And what is Andrew saying? Something snarky. I'll need lots of help since I so not good at so many things. All right, Jolin pops in. Our Hilton Head Jammers group uses a shared Dropbox folder for over 8,600 lyric sheets. That's awesome.
It is awesome.
And a monthly senior sing-along, and use Google Sheets to share our set list. That's cool. with the other players for that event so that we don't bring the same songs to the gig.
Mm.
Collaboration rocks. I love it. I love it.
I agree. What I mean, there's so many tools and so many things out there that you can do and stuff. It really is kind of neat to see the different things. Without one of the things that I like about is Google Sheets is free.
Hmm.
Well, to a certain extent, because it does count towards your whatever. But you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, it's free, and as
But
long as
it
you
is
have
a good
your 15
collaborative
gigs.
tool that way
Yeah.
too. Yeah, you know,
Yeah.
and I don't know Trello. Trello has free versions, right? They have.
Yeah, Trello's free to an extent. I think that there's bells and whistles that you pay for, or maybe even
I
more
got you.
team member stuff. But
Yeah.
yeah, what I was interested, you brought up Phil and how he shared
Oh yeah.
Dropbox,
Dropbox.
and there were some things about what he shared that we thought you and I even thought about
Mhm.
looking into because
Yeah.
there was a calendar attached to it as well as notes and things like
Yep.
that. So.
Yeah,
Um,
exactly.
And then Andrew pops in with the Canadians that he works with also use Dropbox and a ton of spreadsheets for different mailing lists. Very interesting. And
Hmm.
yeah, that I think is about Trello. Um, does anyone know anything about Slack? I've been seeing advertisements for that service lately. So Slack is a lot like Discord in that it's a chatting communication tool. So you can chat with people, you can video chat with people, and you can share documents with each other and all
Mhm.
those kinds of things. It's a service within very similar to Discord. Discord and Slack, I would say, are very, very, very much like the same thing. But
Google Spaces is similar
yeah,
to that.
similar.
Holding
Yep.
holding files and assigning stuff and
Yep.
tasks and files and has a
Yep.
chat area. Yeah, exactly. All that
Yeah,
kind
and
of
you can
stuff.
have like little private rooms and little private
Mhm.
things. Slack is like the work version of Discord or the work version of
Yeah,
um
that's a good way
yeah,
of putting it.
yeah.
Yeah.
Eileen
Mhm.
says, we tried Asana for my daughter's team, but we didn't like it and went back to using Gmail, iMessage, and Google Drive. And that's another
Mm.
point that Eileen
Mhm.
brings up is a really good one. There isn't any one fix. You might
Mhm.
need to use a piece of this and a piece of that and a something from over here to make things work the way you want them to, because we all work so differently. And it's
Mhm.
awesome to have all these different tools at our hands. So I really appreciate you bringing that up, Eileen. Slack is good, but a bit nerdy for me. Yes, it is kind of a nerdy thing for sure. Really don't like Slack. Yeah, I think it just depends. I used Slack for like a year and a half because of the particular job that I had, and it I mean it worked for the job I was doing, but I've never used it since because I don't have that
Mhm.
job anymore.
Mhm.
Slack is more corporate like, yeah, like the business version of the gamer thing. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
funny.
What is this one? I see the message, but I'm waiting for it to show up on your screen.
I see.
Yeah. I don't know what that was about. Anyway.
Well, okay.
Anyway, so, oh, there it
Oh,
is.
there it
It
is.
did. There it is. So what is Eddie saying? Can we see the dance Michael interrupted?
The
What dance
dance
was that?
Michael interrupted. I'm not sure
I
what
don't
dance
know.
did I interrupt.
I don't know.
Please translate. But thank you
Yeah.
again. I
Yeah,
appreciate that for
you
the
know what? You can see it for 4.99. You can see it. I just don't know what you're talking about. I don't have a problem with that.
Yeah,
Okay. So I think we covered everything in our list except for one thing. There was
which
one thing.
is
Yeah. We have a gift for our community members.
there you go.
So
Awesome.
so the spreadsheet that we have been sharing with you today, and it was just a sample of the spreadsheet that Michael and I utilize. We are offering that for all our community members. And if you're not a Tinkering with Tech community member, you can join us by following this link, tinkeringwithtech.net, and just be a part of the community. You only have to do it once. Just join once, and you'll get this access to
Yep.
this thing, and we will be happy to chat with you more about it in the backstage pass as well, and we'll be sharing it with everybody there and sending it out into our Google group once we're done with the backstage pass. So
Perfect. Awesome. If
What? He
there's
said
not,
before I went live, before we went live, you interrupted my dance. Oh, I see. I
oh,
see. It's the jam. It's the jam to the sound that,
I see.
he plays the
I
music
see.
at the beginning. Yes, I got it, Jolyn. I got it.
I love it. That's so
Too
cool.
funny. Too
Well,
funny,
that's all right.
guys.
We'll give you the opportunity to dance again. Don't worry. We got it. We got an outro that we do too as well. So we'll be able to give you that little dance music for you, so you can. There you go.
Too much fun. Too much
There
fun.
you go. And as it says there, all live shows are replay in the community only. So it's always good to be a member so you can get to see these again, go over the shows, etc., that kind of stuff. Thank you guys. I appreciate everybody that's watching. Thank you, community. I appreciate you guys. And I know sometimes we don't get a chance to watch it live, but I do appreciate the live viewers as well. It's awesome. Heather, great job. Awesome. It's always fun to chat.
Yeah,
Go over this
I
stuff.
love sharing how you and I work together because it's one of my favorite things. Showing up to work is a breeze because you're a great partner. So I really love it. I really love it.
All right, gang. We will see you folks next week. We look forward to it. There you go. Watch this again. She without formulas play. There you go. I love it. That's so true. That's so true. I hear you. I hear you, Miss Sheila. All right. All right. Thanks, everybody. We appreciate you. We'll see you next time. Take care. Bye, all.